What up guys, Bruja here. Brief interruption to let you guys know that my partner and I have opened up an Etsy shop, and it is called BrujadeMarigoldManor, and you guys can purchase those evil eye bracelets that you have been asking me about like forever. And there will be more metaphysical items to come, so stay tuned and then go to that Etsy site if you would like to purchase one. And today I am back with a requested video about Ganesh, or Ganesha, as he goes by many different names, but those are the most practical for us Westerners to be able to pronounce his name. So Ganesh is what I usually call him. I was saying earlier, one of you lovely subscribers requested this video to either get to know Ganesh a little more or to find out what his energy means to me. I'm going to actually explain both. I'm gonna let you guys know how his energy feels to me, what kind of offerings I would leave him, and I'm also going to give you guys a lowdown about folklore about Ganesh and how he came to be. So those of you who were unsure about working with Ganesh, or you think you might have a strong calling to work with him but you don't really know much about him, hopefully this will help you out some, and then you can pursue it from there on out. So those of you who are interested in learning a little bit about Ganesh, then stick around. So those of you who don't know much about Hindu culture, this is going to be a little off topic. You may or may not have to Google a lot of things because there are a lot of deities in Hindu culture. Ganesh or Ganesha, however you want to pronounce his name, there's different names like I said earlier. Just pick one that resonates with you, and obviously one that you can pronounce without disgracing it, you know, respect. Just go from there. So there's going to be a god and a goddess, which is his mom and dad. Parvati is his mother. I may or may not butcher a few names in this, but I'm going to try my best to pronounce them right. And Shiva is his father. This all took place when his mother wanted to go take a bath, and she did not have anyone on guard. As strange as that sounds, I know, but she ended up taking some turmeric paste, and this also can be dirt in some other folklore stories that I have read about. But I feel like the turmeric paste resonates a lot because, come on guys, India, turmeric, they have those really bomb spices for a reason. I was like, this one resonated more to me than just, you know, grabbing some dirt and molding a human form of a body out of it, you know? But she took the turmeric paste and she molded a human form out of it. She created a sun out of that. She did this while Shiva was away in the Himalayas meditating, so he took that trip by himself. And while she was gone, she wanted to feel protected. She decided to create a sun. Kind of like voodoo, she breathed the breath of life into him to make him come alive. Because she is a goddess herself, and Shiva is a god. Once done, she instructed him to guard the main door so no one could enter. She said to let nobody through. So Shiva, coming back from his long trip of meditation, he comes back and was not allowed to go through his own door, because she created him while he was gone, which sounds a little strange, but stick with me. Created him while he was gone, so he did not know he was there. Being insulted like anyone would be, not being allowed into their own home, not knowing who the hell this guy is that's not letting them through their door, and probably wondering where the fuck your wife is at the same time. With this first little mishap of not being able to come into your own home, Shiva asks, "Where's Parvati?" And he exclaims, "Parvati is taking a bath. I was asked to guard the door and not let anyone through." Little did Shiva know that Ganesh was actually his son, but of course, like I said earlier, he was created while he was gone. Shiva, sometimes skipping straight to anger, masculine energy, let's be real, because he didn't know what was going on, so I don't blame him. Plus, I'd be already upset not being able to come through my own doors and wondering who the fuck this was. But at the same time, I don't think I would have severed Ganesh's head off, honestly. But that's exactly what happened. He picked up his trident and severed his head off. As you guys are probably thinking right now, just like in any cheesy movie, Parvati comes running out from her bath and she sees her son dead, lying on the ground. And she was wondering, what the heck? Why are you crying and wailing about this man would not let me through my own doors? So, of course, sobbing and wailing, she explains, "That was your son. I created him while you were gone so I could feel safe," and, you know, etc., etc. She explains herself. But, you know, too little, too late. After being told that Ganesh was actually his son, you could imagine that you feel a great amount of guilt and remorse for your actions. He's not going to be able to come back from that. At least not very easily, because, you know, gods and goddesses. If it was a regular human being, you know, we'd just be screwed. But Shiva exclaims that he can bring him back. He just will not have the same head that he had last time, because the sever from the trident was so severe that there was just no coming back from that. So he agreed to go out and find him a new head and piece Ganesh back together again. Here's the part where he would call out for his bull, Nandi, to go look for a head for Ganesh. Or it goes, Shiva went and did it himself. I would say if I felt that much remorse, I would actually go out and go get the head myself. So I'm going to go with that version. But there's a few different little quirks here and there with these stories. If you believe that it's supposed to be a different way and it resonates with you better, then that's just the way you believe it. This is the way that I feel like it resonates with me better. Because if I was that child's father and I didn't even know I killed my own son, I would feel some deep, deep guilt and remorse for the rest of my life if I did not fix what I did. So I would go out there myself and bring him back. He goes out, and the first head he sees is from an elephant. As you guys can imagine, that Ganesh has the elephant head because that was the first thing that Shiva saw. Alright, so that's the shortest story I can tell you guys about Ganesh. Obviously, there's a lot more resources online if you guys would like to know more about Hindu deities, not just Ganesh, but there are many, many stories about him. And of course, Parvati and Shiva and all the other gods and goddesses that they worship. If you guys are interested in that, then feel free to Google more folklore and stories. But I'm going to go on to some other information if you are looking to work with him in your craft. So stick around if you guys would like to know more about that. So I'm going to start off with what Ganesh is well known for and why the Hindus worship him. He is known as the remover of obstacles. He is very good for wealth, prosperity, associated with good fortune, abundance. I mean, he looks like a pretty abundant guy when you look at him and the way that they illustrate him. He has everything that he needs and more. Like it's a very jovial sort of image. He's abundant in life, he's fortunate, and he's wealthy. He's in good health. So health is a good thing too with Ganesh. That is also something that he will support. And he is also very good to clear blockages in the wisdom department, because elephants are a sacred animal that signify wisdom. They hold on to knowledge for many, many years to come. They have a very, very good memory, and they're very well known for that. Alright, so I'm going to move on to offerings. I personally offer a banana or some dates, or sometimes both. It depends like what I have on hand. And he loves those. He loves dates and he loves bananas. And there's an actual Hindu sweet that's called a laddu that he loves. More often than not, all the illustrations have laddus in them. You can see him either having the bowl by his feet, or he usually has them in the general area of, because he likes them a lot. It's like portrayed as one of his main offerings. You can burn sandalwood incense to invoke him. It's a sweet smelling flower, so if you have incense that smell like some sort of sweet smelling flower, he loves that. Like I said, he likes sugar. Modaks are the sweet dumplings that he would normally eat too, so there's a few different sweets that he likes that are culturally based. Usually find more often than not that the bananas and dates are easier for me to get my hands onto, but if I have the time, I would like to try and make some of those sweets myself and then offer them to Ganesh. His favorite colors are red, orange, and gold. Since he is linked with prosperity and wealth and abundance, I offered him a piece of citrine like about 3.5 years ago, around that time. That stays in his area, wherever he is, wherever I place his altar at the time, because things are always constantly changing. That would always stay with him. That is his, since that is what he represents. So I figured that would be a good offering. Sometimes you have to feel these things out. It's not always going to be written in stone to give such and such to Ganesh, or any other deity for that matter of fact. This is something that you have to feel, most likely over time, as you can feel the energy when you call forth to have them bless your spell work. This is something you gotta sit with and literally just feel. It may not resonate with what everyone else is saying, but that's because everyone's gonna feel this a little bit differently. We don't all share the same exact experiences and emotions towards our practice. That's why certain people's practices produce more energy and are more powerful or less powerful or whatever. This is all more or less like a trial and error to what feels right for you. You'll eventually get the hang of it and you will feel what is right and what resonates. Now I'm going to go on to the next thing, because normally if you are a female, you have to cover your hair to work with such deities. I do not believe in this. Probably get a lot of backlash for saying that, but I do not believe in this. Out of all the times that I have worked with Ganesh for success and prosperity and whatever else that I've called him forth to help me with, I've never covered my hair once, and I've never had anything fail when I was working with him. I feel as if he accepts me the way I am. I shouldn't have to cover my hair or anything else on my body, for that matter of fact, as long as I show him the respect that he deserves. Because all gods and goddesses deserve respect, just like any other person that you want to get to know deserves respect. Okay? Treat everybody with respect until proven otherwise. And then you disrespect the shit out of them if they're disrespecting you. But that's besides the point of this video. Also, there are mantras that you can chant to help feel closer to Ganesh. There are different verses for each mantra. Some will portray calling forth to have good health, to be blessed with good health, to be blessed with success. They all mean different things. They're in Hindi. It might be a little complicated for you guys to say them. You can translate them over to English if you wish, but I do try to keep it more culturally based and just learn the correct pronunciations to chant whenever I do have the time to meditate and call forth this energy. I would suggest getting a few mantras down, or at least just one, to try and feel a closer bond with Ganesh before you start one-on-one working with him and asking him to bless your spell work, bless whatever it is that you need in your life at the time, whatever you're calling him for. So develop that connection. That would be really, really good to start off with. Alright guys, so that's about all I have to say about Ganesh. I hope you guys enjoyed and that you hopefully learned a few things about Ganesh that you didn't know. And of course, before you start working with any deities, I would highly suggest doing your research on them. Do not just go in there willy-nilly and disrespect the shit out of someone's culture. I'm very eclectic and I believe in taking bits and pieces from all these cultures. I still take the time to research them, get to know their stories, get to know that culture in general, not just deities, and leave everything else out. There's a reason that these deities are presented in such way. Get to know the culture. Don't just grab this and that and just throw it together just because you thought it was cool. It's not cool, okay? That's what I call disrespectful. Take time to learn these things, and everything should be just fine as long as you took time to learn about that deity, took time to learn about the culture that's behind it, and of course, worship them appropriately. Do not leave out how you emotionally feel about that deity. You have a connection like that for a reason. Not everyone's connection is going to be the same. You connect with that deity a certain way because that deity is going to help you in a certain way. I don't care what your little witchy friend is saying of how she connects with him. I mean, take note of it. It's always nice to hear someone else's experience with the same deity. I mean, that's why I'm making this video. Place that knowledge back in your dome somewhere. But of course, feel this out, because your connection feels that way for a reason. This deity is portraying itself to you that way for a reason, because you need that sort of help in your life. So do not just go by word of mouth from everyone else of how certain this and that is done with all these deities. If you guys have any other questions, of course, you can leave them in the comments below. And I do have the shop that is open. You guys can actually buy evil eye bracelets now. Oh my god. Yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking me about those bracelets. So my partner and I decided we are finally going to be making them, and we have got a few out for now, but we are going to be sending out another batch right after the full moon, which is on the 27th of February. So we're going to be doing another restock. So if you guys don't mind waiting a while to have your stuff shipped out, because I use full moon's energy to bless all my stuff. I'm going to be working magic that night to bless, cleanse, and charge them. So you should put your orders in at least a week in advance before I do that. If you don't mind waiting, then place it early. Then that's all up to you. It's gonna get to you. It's just I have to do all those things first to make sure that your evil eye jewelry is vibrating at the highest level it can to keep you guys protected. And I'm going to be coming out with some more protection jewelries. Everything that I sell jewelry wise is going to protect you guys. So look out for some new stuff coming soon. Alright guys, I will see all you lovely little brujitas later.